Okay, welcome back. So, in the beginning of the course, we had three experiences with pair programming. And so, the concept of pair programming, I think, I've been aware of it for since the turn of the century, about 20 years ago now. And it was really popularized with the Extreme Programming book, and it was new, it was novel, and it really appealed to some people. And it worked well. In the last couple of years, there's been there's been a movement called mob programming, which expands the notion of multiple people focusing on the code being written to beyond a pair to really the entire team. And this is another thing that I would like you as students to be able to experience in a classroom environment to see what it's like. So we're going to watch a movie. No, it's not even a movie. It's really it's an observation of a mob programming of a mob programming, and then we're going to experience ourselves by doing a kata. But first, let's watch the video. Well, there's no sound actually with it, so I'll just narrate it here. So this is an actual team that is mobbing, and it talks about what their experiences are and how they go about doing it. So here it is, the beginning of the day, and the team is really talking about and synchronizing what they're going to do. And it's funny because they point out, hey, there's no stand up because everybody already knows what they're doing. They're actually continuously standing up, although they're physically sitting down. So they have this environment where they have one machine that's hooked up to two projectors, probably with two different screens, if you will, just like you would as a developer, right? Having all of your your web browser stuff over here in one screen, and then IntelliJ in another. And they're pointing out some of the different roles of the people who are there. You've got the navigators, you've got the driver. So the driver is sitting there. Now it's time for a coffee break, I guess. Everybody goes and gets a coffee. This group takes 15-minute rotations. So someone is at the keyboard for 15 minutes, and then someone else takes over to spell that person. Notice that, this is, it's not that everybody spends the entire day there. There are opportunities for people to go off, do something else, take a meeting, maybe do some other work, but then they come back. The entire time, you've got the guy over here on the right, that's Woody Zuhl, who's the coach, who he might do some coding, but mainly what he's there is to observe the process of how everybody's working together and how the code is coming together. The cool thing about this is that you get really rapid feedback this way. Just as I think as some of you experience pair programming, you find out, it's like, oh wow, look, I just wrote a bug, and you find it within seconds. Here, you've got everybody focused on the problem. You've got people thinking about different aspects of it. So instead of having what was considered the traditional, like I write some code and then I send it over to the QA engineer to test it, it's like, no, all that stuff is happening in real time. That feedback is coming right there. When this works, what you end up is with people that are engaged in the problem, people that are all aware of the current state. You don't have some team members who are behind, and then some team members who know certain things that other people don't. They advertise no food coma, but I don't know what these guys had for lunch. It might have been something lean like a salad instead of like a big pasta dinner. But this is what their day is like. Right? As you can see, they're all focused on the problem at hand. If someone needs to take a break, they do. And what you get is all of the expertise is there in one room, and all of the feedback is coming back really rapidly. You don't see people waiting around. It's like, I've got to wait for that person to get out of a meeting before I can answer that question. Nope. They all have it there, and they're all focused together. And on the same computer, which actually is important, right? The thing I like about mob programming, just like pair programming, is that you don't really need to have code reviews anymore because everybody's reviewed their code in real time. And of course, they're really proud of themselves. They have another great day. So that's what mob programming is all about. What did you all observe? And what did you think? Nice lunch. Is what you expected? Think it could work? Well, we're about to find out. So that's an idea of what mob programming was all about. There's not a lot of theory there. There's not a lot of rules. I don't have a slideshow. I don't have a lecture. It's like we're just going to give it a try. And so we're going to give it a try on a new Kata. This is the Bank OCR, Optical Character Recognition Kata. So the whole idea is that you're given a textual representation with bars of some numbers, and your program is to, and these are 4 lines of numbers here. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. That has 27 characters in it, and this represents 9 digits. And so let's just focus on user story 1 for tonight, which is to write a program that can take this file, or this input, doesn't have to be read from a file, and parse into actual count numbers. So you'd see this thing, and then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what I'd like you to do is self-organize in up to 5 mobs. So there's probably about 5 or 6 people in each mob. There are 5 stations here in the room. There are 4 projectors around here with whiteboards, and you can also use the projector at the front if you'd like. Hope everybody's got enough. Oh, sorry. Up here, I have VGA and HDMI cables, and I also have the keyboards if you want to use the USB keyboards. And let's give it a go. And I guess, sorry, one more thing. Just like with the pair programming, there is a quiz up on D2L for you to reflect on this. The goal here is to experience mob programming, to think about it. I do want to see what code you accomplished, but it's you won't be assessed solely on the code that you produce. Any question about this activity? Yeah, let's go to it.
Parse strings, I guess, where we are then going to do. I know, actually. Yeah, you want to put that. We're assuming we're all doing the same thing.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't do that. There is a method called concat, where we're going to concatenate substrings of each of the strings. I plus 3 because it's exclusive. Exclusive. So we're going to use the result of substring. I'm trying to remember the method. So you're going to I plus 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2. And this will build up a string of the 9 characters. Does that make sense? Am I explaining that okay? I know. Yes. Well, hey, that's what Oh, okay. So. Oh, yes. That's interesting. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, so the nice thing about this is now, if it's not going to log, so, I guess the top of this method here, I was going to suggest declaring a new list of strings. Yeah. And you're gonna use array list. You don't. It doesn't matter here because array list is a subclass. But when you actually declare it, it needs to be. Yep. List of lists. That one. Yep. Okay. Now inside the try, we're gonna do list of lists down that. And then we're going to do new array list. Now, I guess now that I think about it, we can do include import java.util.arrays.
So are you?
Capital S. There you go. And then you can do arrays dot instead of new array list, do arrays dot as list. Get rid of the new. Arrays is a convenience. And then we are literally going to call this dot next line this the buffer. Sorry, next one. I think it is like next line. Reline? Yeah, that's right. Is it buffered input string? Is it buffered stupid Java.
Yeah, is there input string?
For bytes. Yeah, now we have to figure out. So now we need a file. Java, just like 100 ways to do everything. Next line, read circuit. Read line. Yep. 4 times? No, because we're adding a list of arrays here. So, column, this dot read line. Yeah, one more. And now, so now what we're going to do is we're going to round this inside of the problem. So we're going to say while this dot has next line We're going to add, so we are going to, yeah, pretty much. If you really want to, you can do like an area or something.
And you have your own objects.
Yep.
Are there,
Well, no, it's see, it's complex. So when you actually check what it is, you check. Oh, so we have to go. The other alternative. So, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. One possibility we can do is wrap this in, so we do.
Yeah, I know Scanner has next option.
Yeah, but scanner can't read lines, it's telling them what spaces. Here's another thought. Let's do your four variables. S1, S2, S3, and S4. Because we're just going to be counting these into the.
Oh, yeah. So here's the idea. We read it like files.
Inside the right spaces, or either way, but not inside the tree. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to use a do.
So then when
So
we bring
just
that
so do. And our while is going to be a while. None of these are resolved. Nobody knows that. No, not John.
It's okay.
It's going to be.
I can. So we're going to be reading the file.
Oh, really? Okay, let me check that. Because you need to get like EOF or next week.
Yeah.
Can we wrap that? Try that.
So we'll send you some file.
Yeah, or we can just.
Yeah, let's set up the files.
So when you do here's an X, or you have so it is.
Yeah, we're going to
I don't count. Actually, I don't think you have to do the check. I think it'll just do nothing every time if you keep on trying to read lines from it.
So when you're doing this, when you're calling slow, that's what
Oh, no, you don't have to count.
yeah, we're gonna have to.
Sorry, yeah, no.
Yeah, so the next step in the algorithm.
So we're going to,
So now we're going to have portions.
that's right. We now need to put this inside the while loop. That whole line. And we are going to, before we do while loop, I was going to say, set S1 equal to buffer greater than, no, inside the do while.
Yeah, so each of these. So I'm going to split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
issue now is that so we need to check first if S1 and S2, if all these are not null, then we add the raised up as list
No, that
S1,
one
S2,
represents,
S3.
that will represent one layer. So, each of these represents a layer of the number. Check 0.
Actually, we only need to check one. We need to
So
check
let's say
S1.
we're taking.
That's all we care about. Because if
These
S4
are all
is
the
not
tops,
null,
all
then
nine.
the previous one was.
Yep. All like this.
In fact, the while loop also can just be S4
So
or
then
something.
we'll do this for every single one. So what winds up happening is we're gonna have.
Change the
Yeah, yeah, so
so
we'll have
Yep,
to
exactly. Exactly. Yep.
These right here.
Become S1, S2, S3, S4. Just wipe it out. Yep.
Join.
Yep. Yep. And then outside of the triangle blocks,
At
we're
this
going
point,
to
what we're saying
return
is
list of these columns.
now we're going to join all of these pieces. So then we're going to have one of these.
Alright, so now.
So then this just becomes whatever.
Yeah, it's sorry. I just started reading this. So probably the same.
Yep.
So
we can.
you can do get to bring in his character file, and then we can add our rebates. It rewrites history. So say that you get stash.
Exactly. So I think that's once we
I
have
don't
history,
think we
then we
don't
can
care about
do
the
is we can insert
Now, do get stash.
an array that we are string that we're already created as a concept representation.
There you go.
And because we can just
And now you have the file in there along with all this time.
There's the algorithm that I need.
You can use rebates if he had already done commits. So if he had committed stuff, he can then pull your changes in before he applies his own changes. Yeah, what did you push that too, so we don't have that. It said backup language level 5. Another initial commit, because I already made it all. There you go. My hands are typing words. Post initial. Yep. Project write-up, final, finals need to, final, really final.
I love doing that, I think it's properly formatted. Like, your problem, 50 line.
Yes, yes, okay,
Yeah, that's called.
And then the ones at the bottom are incorrect.
okay. So let's,
No, see, that's the fourth one, just empty, and then the next one begins immediately, because those are all underscore.
Correct.
One and two.
yeah, the ones that are, actually, there needs to be an extra line, yeah, there needs to be an extra space here.
So the top down one, and the next one,
Yeah, so,
yeah, I think you're right.
yeah, so you need an extra line in here. Because the ones that are underscore, yeah, the ones that are underscores here, yep, just like that.
See, that's what I was trying to go through and do. It's-
Yeah.
It's hard. It's-
Yep, right. Sure. If
Why didn't you call this sucks? You just
Just to see if it's like, yeah. So in this case, what you actually do is you just do ask self. Yes. And then we need to make a call. Oh, yeah.
It's digital, not digital.
And so, and that would be, so now we're going to need a listed string. Variable is equal to that. Oh, it should be. I would even do this. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sorry, but my writing is. It's equal to after file.
Showing through the test
Yeah. And of course, you're going to have to import this. And now, if you want, you can then we can print. So we can do a for loop. Right. For parentheses, we're doing enhanced string s colon listed list dot at 0. Is it get or is it at? Yeah. Get 0. And that's just going to print the first system dot out. The assert here would be I just want to make sure that see what could be the native settings. So I'm going to I know nothing about this. Yeah, Gradle lets you set word name. So you're running a job with 5. That's the set of things. It's your your ID. So it's compiling with version 11 of Java, but it's trying to run up version 5 of Java.
Yeah, but again, I think it's Maven.
Yeah.
Does Maven have its own Java version of the declaration at language level? I know Rail does.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, the compiler plugin configures that. So what is it that you're saying? So that's what I'm doing.
Like we're going to create, and it's going to output just a list of strings, and each string is going to contain the characters left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of each character of each number. Does that make sense? So we have S0, S1, S2, and we don't care about S3. Okay, so we have 0, 1, 2, 2. Okay.
Don't you want 4, 5, 6 because 3's on the list?
I'm not sure it is. Looking at the digital file, there are no spaces.
The problem is those are like a portion of the space.
So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to concatenate this, and this to make one string. Okay, and we're going to add that to our result. We're going to concatenate this, and this into a string, and put that into our result. Yes, and we're going to, so then we end up comparing it to these. Yep. So this should return a list of strings. Yep. I'll say parse this list. List of strings.
Doesn't it just ignore the spaces in the middle, or would it give you
No,
two spaces? It would give you that.
That's correct. That would make sense.
So the problem, yeah, it's like
So let's make a listed string result is equal to new array list,
you could use a regular
and it's just a list of strings.
maybe.
Well, yeah, right.
And now we're going to do 4 list string. L, I guess, colon, list of list. And we are then going to do result.add. Oh, we can't do that actually. Sorry. So we're going to do 4 and I is equal to 0. Yeah, we have to, because we have to do substrings here. 0, I is less than list of list 0 dot get 0 length or size. Stupid Java. I plus equal 3. So now we are then going to do result dot add. What's an add now? Let's take this. Okay. So then we're going to do result dot add, and then we are going to do list of list dot get 0 dot substring sublist.
You're going to list objects like
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. You're right. So we're gonna. So this is gonna. Let's do a function that just takes the 4 lines and returns a list of strings. single list of strings and returns. So here. Then we're gonna iterate over the list of lists and call this on each of the lists. Okay, so I want parse list. Get rid of the list, turn it into list. And this is just going to be a list string. And then just call that list. Okay. And then this is fine. Now, okay, so at this point, it's just this.
We don't want to do get now because we've got lists, so now when you call get, you're getting this string.
Correct, and that's what we want.
You want the size here, because if you're iterating over the list, you want to get the size of the list, not the size of the string.
So I want the length of the strings inside the list.
Okay, so we need an interval then, because you have to first iterate over each of the list to get each string.
We can assume that they're the same length.
You see what I'm saying here is this top level here, both list of strings. If we then want to go into each string and then jar add, that way we need another list for that. So, what we've got here is, list us, so we're going into each list. So if we move now we're calling string operation. Yes. So we have to first index the list with this loop, and then if we want to do like substring, we have to go through each one here.
So I am indexing based on this is my first, is my 0, this is my first, this is my second, and so on until we reach the end of the length of the string.
But I'm trying to think how best to say this. I don't think that's what we have. What this method is getting is like,
I want list dot get 0 dot size. Or I thought it was length.
well, that's length for a string, but
Yeah, that's what I want. List dot get 0 dot length. Because I want the length of this 0th string so that we can get the number of entries we're going to do.
you're wanting to copy the for loop.
No, we're not even gonna. We're not gonna. We only need one loop.
If we put get 0 each time, we're only going to be getting
You mind if I just type in what I'm thinking?
sorry, yeah. I'm lost. I'm sorry.
I'm explaining myself poorly here. So.
I think we'd eventually end up getting all consumed that
Yeah,
formatted all the right.
now I see what
So at this point, as far as I know, it's exclusive. So what we're doing here is we are getting these 3, adding it to this, these 3, adding it to these 3, and this is one iteration of the
yeah, no, I get what you're saying now. When I want to.
I've got one.
Okay, so now we are going to apply this parse list function to the list. We're going to iterate over the list. And you can use your favorite function of it, or you can iterate with So we can do parse list. List of string.
So then how will we grab the next? Sorry, what? How do we do grab the next?
That is done over successive iterations of after we have 3 to 9. Then get 3, 4, 5. It takes a list of string. Yeah, we're just list of strength. List. Colon. List of list. Result dot. We need to declare
You look like you were done.
I was in the hard work thinking about it.
And it's going to be a list of strings. It's a list of strings.
I don't mind looking at some of the tests.
Dom was excited. There we go.
Parse list. List. Just list.
How would we describe like a 3x3 cell?
Like that. And then return result.
That's the end goal.
Okay, so
I guess for now,
at this point, yes, let's write a test to make sure that we're actually
Because that's just the top of their spaces.
oh, yeah, I gave you an error. That's a J unit something does. We have to yeah. Oh, assert that or whatever. I guess it's not made. We're not making any insert into it, so it's okay, so what I want to do now is to read a single number, a numeral, by we should be able to it's like read test can read first number. And yep, copy. And then we're gonna print. So now do list of string parse list.
Depending on how I want
Yep. Yep. But it's not that. So list of string. So it's another variable. Parse list is equal to parse list. List of list. Yeah. And now we're going to read from the let's do system.out.println.
I like
list
this.
dot get 0
We're going back to like
dot get 0.
calculation.
Plus, but
And that
Nice.
should print.
then it's not our current. So this is where I'm gonna parse the lines.
Okay, so let's do the substring. I think being not including it itself. I plus selections here. Yeah, I think it's I plus 2.
You can set a breakpoint and examine what parse the rest of the file. Step over once.
You can parse list.
Yeah,
And then look at looking for the 0.
Okay, so we have to have another,
Sure, not. Yeah, let's see. No. The fourth line, somebody. I want to say, like, really, it's all line one. This is weird.
Why are they like because there are 4 in this one. It's not unit spaced. Oh. Go back to
well, I was thinking the yeah, if you want to do
Oh, sorry, I meant navigation.
oh, navigation, yeah, we're both doing like an so we're gonna okay, so is it like string wise, string, or is it like a string? Okay, so here's what I actually So this is going to return to the rate just call it and we are going to pass it. So, so at the top of the bracket, now
Hey, let me just,
Where do you put down the test pass?
yeah, Michelle.
Not like a word action.
No pressure.
Or I know it's run, yeah, run.
I tried my project today at 5.
let's see here. So count number,
Yep, and that is the first line where it won. Yep. So if I do
plus equals
oh, I can't do it. So it's probably the, how do I do it? Copy.
The backspace thing here.
number of cells
It's so small.
Tax.
Far away.
minus 1 times 10 minus 1 times 10. Yeah.
Actually, this time.
It's unbelievable how awkward it is to use some
So it's probably numbers as minus I
so comfortable about those.
times.
Once we have our three bits copies, like, so we can go on
Actually, it's not times 10. It's to the 10th. It's 10 to the math to the x.
That's the whole point. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, why can't I remember that?
Do I need to be breaking down?
Java
Oh, it doesn't.
number to the power.
Intelligence.
Not the pow, jeez. Pow 10 to the times value. So let's see here. This will be 10 to then the first iteration is I is 0.
I'm not sure if I got it. Are there more?
No, that's right. It'll be 10 squared. So I think I need another minus 1.
Yeah. That's fine.
Return count. I don't know. I'm making it up.
Is it just not minus space?
No.
Oh, no.
No. No way. Okay, so now if I
No, I'm missing character.
try this one though, it's probably gonna blow up because I can't find a cell. Yep, no pointer exception. Get a count because the number is no. Oops. Okay. So now we just need to do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, but anyway, let's take that out, make sure everything works. Okay. Calculate count number for multiple cells.
Okay, so we have space underscore space underscore pipe space underscore
So did I
pipe.
run all of them? I did, yeah. Okay. Okay, so now
Space underscore space space underscore pipe.
so
Space underscore pipe. Space space pipe underscore
you know what? I am going to well
space space pipe.
no 3 space 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 dash dash space space
Pipe
dash dash dash
space space underscore
3.
Because
Is
that
that
makes sense.
3?
space
Yep.
underscore space pipe underscore space pipe six space space underscore space pipe.
You know, do I really need tests for all of these? 3. Three, 4. Okay, blah 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 blah.
So space underscore space space underscore pipe. So 2 pipes. Space underscore between the second.
Oops, what was that?
Okay, perfect. Okay, let's do 0.
I like our
If I can do that, I can have a trailing comma. That's nice.
Space underscore space pipe space pipe pipe underscore. This controls
Okay. Let's give it 10 more minutes, and then we'll check in.
at the very bottom.
We need a default case that.
Oh, you're right. Throw. For now.
Well, okay, so those parts are. Well, yeah, thank you.
So at this point, we now have. Yes, I.
Oops, I didn't do 7. I busted. Shoot, I wasn't paying attention.
Bracket.
Or we can full file, right?
Yes.
Just throw when,
It's a default.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
we
are.
can file.
Good point.
Yeah. Maybe instead of throwing, change it to insert negative one.
That's a good idea. Or a question, that was part of the later. Oh, okay. It's eligible as a question mark, so I have to figure out what just return it. We can have that, when it encounters negative one, we just print out a question mark.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's just do one.
Yeah, we'll have to make it. Good plan. Read it.
So for now, we just add everything.
I just started dependencies well, any repository. So, started repositories. Makes me appreciate mine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what I would actually do, I would maybe, and then paste below this and use this to, and then just point out everything. Oh, we have a.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Man, that's so, just anybody like.
Okay, hey, let's put a pause on it. So here's what I want to do. I'm really curious about how this worked. It looked like everybody was super engaged. That was neat. So I think I want us to go around to each group and say briefly like what you experienced, what you saw, what some challenges were, some things that were maybe easier than you expected, and like maybe how it compared to pair programming. We'll start with this group right here in front of me. So tell us about your experience. What did you observe?
Let's see. It was interesting.
What was interesting about it? Had you ever programmed with this many people before?
Yes.
Okay, so a couple of maybe like tried everything like that. Okay,
No, I mean,
so for those of you who it was the first time, what did you notice? How is it different than what you've experienced before?
It seemed like it was good to just quickly throw ideas around and have somebody to say, no, that won't work because of X reason. Like I had an idea early on that was going to have problems. They pointed out that it would have issues performing what it was meant to. So.
Okay, cool. Okay, good. So you got rapid feedback and you were able to explore ideas and iterate very rapidly. Nice. What was the coding like?
That was messier.
How was it messier?
Trying to explain what your vision was
To someone else who
to
was
someone else who's trying to implement it.
yeah.
And they don't
Oh,
know. They don't know exactly where you're going. If you explain too much at a time, they're like, "Okay, what did you just say again?" But if you explain too little, they're following very closely with what you're saying.
oh, interesting. So that's not really so much the driver as it is then the scribe, right? So someone else is
Right.
saying, "Oh, this is what you should write." And, okay, so then what I recommend that you do in that situation is the person's got the idea, they should have the keyboard. And be the other way around, where it's like, here's my idea, I'm typing in a code and I'll explain it to you. And of course, then other people would say, oh, that's not going to work, and you have those discussions. But yeah, I can see why the dynamic might be challenging, where it's like one person is trying to write in Java and the other person is saying, here's what you should do. Although, did you take a test-first approach? Did you say, here's the test that we need to make pass?
No, because we did it from scratch.
Did it at a point, and then we kind of deviated.
Right. Yeah. Well, right. And you guys didn't use the create Kata script, and I think you're sorry because of it. Excellent. Cool. Okay. Let's go on to this group over here. So, okay. So, what was your experience? How far did you get into the Kata?
It's not incredibly far, but we had a pretty good idea, and I think we would have finished it if we didn't have more time. Yeah, it was fun. We switched off a lot, and I had fun explaining my algorithm. I think we all had fun coding and talk about what we want to do. Yeah, it was very collaborative. I honestly liked it more than peer programming.
Oh, like it more. Okay. So, because it was more collaborative, why was it? Why did you enjoy more the pair programming?
So the thing that I dislike about pair programming personally is that if you're with one other person and neither of you has any idea what's going on, then it's like, well, that's it.
Yeah, guys, the blind leading the blind, but when there's a tribe of blind people, everybody, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Someone will have
someone
a
could be
clue.
off in the corner researching and
Yeah.
trying to figure something out, and like, yeah, it's cool. There's a lot of ideas. Yeah, I like too when I come up with an idea. Someone's like, "What about this?" I'm like, "That's a better idea." Like,
Yeah.
you know, so it's more ideas, more interesting.
Nice.
A lot of humor as well. We're all
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, there's like vulnerability where it's like, how do I do that, or what's that API, or whatever. I think, yes, when you're surrounded by a group, it's sort of easier to then just have someone call it out. It's like, oh no, you do this as opposed to like just a one-on-one, the partner. Because I mean, there's sort of some natural competition, especially if like someone does or thinks they know more than the other person. Good. Those are good observations. Okay. Our friends in the back over here. So I liked how they all sat next to each other in a big long line. Everybody could see. It was funny, just sort of physically how people oriented themselves. And so I liked how you guys set up. What was your experience like? And had you done anything like this before?
Not really. It was the first time doing this, and I think we enjoyed the process overall. Starting off was a little tough because everybody had their own idea and they wanted to do their own thing, and then we had to do like the pros and cons kind of thing. So which approach would be the best? And then we settled on something. It didn't
Oh, nice. Iterated. How far do you think you got into the kata?
Oh, yeah, I think we're pretty close, but we still have to validate test and see how.
Okay, good. Awesome. Okay. Any other observations from people in that group that you wanted to share?
These discussions are like iterations of ideas. Like at first we started with a very less efficient code, and then many ideas came out, and now we are like a good page where code is pretty more efficient and less time.
Okay, great. So you're able to, again, iterate more rapidly, more ideas coming because there's more people. Excellent. Good deal. Okay. And then, the group here in the back.
I think our experience was very similar to what a lot of other people had. A lot of good ideas, moving pretty fast. I thought this would be much more chaotic. We were actually very in sync, and there wasn't any issues with people talking over one another or sort of missing everything. I think there was really good communication. So that's kind of unexpected on my end. I'm kind of worried about too many cooks in the kitchen kind of situation.
Yeah.
But in general, I think we worked through it all together. And just again, what they were saying, I started referring something. There's a bug, and it's like, oh no, that I don't think is going to work. Or ideas for how to solve an issue that you're having trouble with that I wasn't come up with.
Right.
Instead, Joe throws out there. It's like, oh yeah, that's actually a great idea. And it helped move forward.
Yeah, just give a little bit more confidence. Excellent. Well, good deal. Well, hey, thank you. Again, I haven't done this in a while, and I don't think I've done it with this kata before. So glad everybody had a pretty good first experience. There'll be a couple of other opportunities. We'll do it again next week and the week after that for anybody who wasn't here, or anybody that just wants to get more experience coding, or especially mob programming. That's all I've got for tonight. If you want to stay, you can. Although, if you're using one of the cords, I don't want to stay too much longer myself. Does anybody want to stay? You don't have to? No? Okay, that's good. Fine. Hey, thank you very much. Oh, sorry. One more thing. So next week we start Android. And next week, it's actually pretty important that you be here. There's also going to be some pre-work, which is like downloading like gigabytes worth of stuff and installing it. If we all try to do it at the same time, like the network will ground to a halt. So I'll be on the lookout for stuff that I'll post. Yeah.
Will Android be a new project?
What? A new Maven project, but it's still an airline application.
So I mean, it will not depend on the project type.
It will. You'll still use your airline and flight classes.
Okay.
Yeah, but you'll just copy them over like you did for project. Okay. Have a great week, everybody. Hey, please return everything up here, and can you try to rearrange the tables to look a little more like a traditional classroom? Sure, the next people appreciate that.